Alright, this is Bry. I'm still here at the Rural King. And I'm looking at these trailers. And right off the gun, if you were to stand back, this is like a 10-foot trailer. Not the length, I'm talking about stand back 10 feet away type of trailer. It looks nice 10 feet away. But the situation is, take a look at this price. These are the things that I'm starting to see that I don't even know if I'm really in reality. If this is true for a 12,000 pound trailer, or if the situation is going to say that we're really here in Illinois. I had to put my spectacles on, okay? Because I don't know if what I'm seeing is real. If this is really true for the price that they're charging for $54.99.99. Even in Joe Biden's new world, his new economy, I just don't know if I believe that price, because I'm just not sure if I'm going to see what I'm seeing here, or if I'm going to watch Rod Sterling from the Twilight Zone come walking over the hill. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Just take a look at this trailer. Look at the rust already. Now, I don't want to nitpick the trailer, but I'm going to tell you right now, if this was a trailer I was interested in, these reflectors being all gouged off. Here's the other thing I see. They just welded this on here, this jack, and they never put a bracket with bolts or nothing as a secondary reinforcement. I can see right through the welds. There's porosity all through these and pockets of air. So the situation tells me that the fabrication, even though this is heavy channel, you know, it's heavy channel, but the situation is telling me that they may not have thoroughly did the work right. Now look at here. You see all the little rust starting? It's not to nitpick the trailer. What that's telling me is that they probably didn't even prime this trailer. They probably just sprayed it with paint. And if anybody knows that anything about a trailer or any kind of painting type situation, that your primer is the part that bonds it to the metal. You've got to get some money off for this. I mean, this is going to be, especially in a corrosive environment without fluid film, you are talking about an orange trailer in about a year and a half. This will no longer be black, it will be orange. So I hope you like the color orange. Now they went to the detail of actually putting plastic over the lenses, but they didn't take and put the primers on the metal. Now you tell me what's more important. Now I will say this, that the tire situation, these are 235/80/16s. They look like a very, very nice sidewall. They look like a very nice tread pattern on here. It would definitely go through the water and the rain really nice. But we're doing the review, people, and we have to look at everything, not just one thing. So it looks like the ramps, I will say this, the ramps are definitely heavy duty, okay? They've got the nice clevises in here. That much I'll give them. It looks like a very sturdy and a very stout framework. It's this 1/2-inch steel. But then there again, the welds. The welds do not look like they burned down in. They look like they've just put metal on top of it. So it won't be long. You better have you a friend that knows how to weld, because the situation here says when that breaks off, you know, your tail light might still look pretty because of the plastic covering, but your ramp is going to need some work. They've got the little beaver tail. Now here again, look, they used the good screws going through the metal. So there's a plus. And it looks like the metal, or the wood itself, is a very straight type of wood. I mean, it's not like all buckled up or nothing like that. But this is what I can't get over on a brand new purchase. They gotta take some money off for this. They just have to take some money off. Now here's another situation. That's flexing already. You know as well as I do that you need a gusset right here, because people are going to stand on these. Otherwise, what you're going to get, this trailer is going to have a big bow in it when everybody stands on it to load it and whatever. These right here, this needs a triangularized gusset, and then I could approve it. But other than that, I have to say that's a big fat no. It's a no for me for that kind of bread. So let's go on this side. Let's get a full view of it. I mean, here's another plus I'll give it. It's got the pockets for the 2x4s. So that's a plus. Here's the other situation I'm not a big fan of. Take a look at this. This could possibly be a trip to the ER room. When you go under here and you're trying to hook straps and you back up on your hand right here and you catch that drill tip screw. That did not need to be like that. That should have been a carriage bolt and a nylock nut. Okay? That should have been a situation, because you definitely are going to have something get caught there. If this fender hits something and it gets driven into that tire, just a little bit of it, you got a situation. Here's the other thing. What don't you see here? I don't see any bearing buddies where you could grease them easily. So that's a situation that says you're going to have to really pay attention. Now they do have a Zerk here. They have a Zerk on this here to grease the tandem axle. But look at this, nothing on here. A little bit of salt and corrosion gets on that. You won't be putting a grease gun on that. And it looks like they hurried the paint. Look at this, it's running right down. They didn't put any primer, but look at this, you can push it right in with your fingernail. So that tells me the paint didn't even cure right if I can push it in with my fingernail. This is a situation that says we're going to go half the way, but we're not going to go all the way. And I don't know about you, but look at this already. This already has, they burned it in so much that they haven't even really, you can see the slag. And it looks to me as if they put the wood on and then they burn that in, because the slag underneath hasn't even got any kind of corrosion resistant paint or anything on it. Look at this situation. They never even painted under here. How long do you think that'll be before that's orange? Like these ones here are somewhat painted, these ones aren't. So I think the overall attention to detail, I'd have to give it, I mean, out of a 10 being the best trailer I've seen, I'd have to give this, honestly, it's functional. Now look at this board. They didn't get this one screwed down right. This is up a good finger distance here. I would have to give this trailer, I mean, you tell me, what would you rate the trailer? It's got some positives, but would you rate this at a steady, even let's call it a normal, an average trailer, let's call an average trailer 5 or 6. Would you rate this a 5 or a 6? Or would you call this more like a 2? At best, it's a 3. Because you're going to have to spend some money to get this really to where you want it. Now here's the part, and not too many people are going to do on a review for you, but I'm going underneath. I'm going underneath. And I hate to say this, but underneath looks better than up above. How is that even possible? The part you're going to see looks better from underneath than it does from up above. Unbelievable. But I can tell you right now, whoever shot this paint on this thing, if it were me, they'd be in the unemployment line, or they'd get on my program, because here we are at the Rural King with all these trailers, and it doesn't look like they've got a lot of people lined up to buy them. Especially at that price, and especially if you have a set of glasses and you actually take a look at stuff, you're going to have to say to yourself, why would I pay that kind of bread for something that they didn't even do the most basic simple things like painting it in the right process? So really look stuff over. Don't just take a look at it and say the situation is that we're going to find something that's of a value here. Now, I'm not knocking Rural King, you know. I'm knocking the fact that whoever their buyer is and whoever it is that actually gave these guys a deal on these, they didn't really do their homework. You know, they didn't do their homework. But here's some of the smaller trailers. Let's see if they look any different. These would be like your lawn and your four-wheeler trailers and your lawnmower trailers. Let's take a look. Come on. So here we go. We're looking at the This would be, let me see here. It appears to be a 7x12 trailer with side ramps. Now, honestly, I'm going to honestly say this right now. For this one here says it's $22.99. That, honestly, is not a bad deal, even in Joe Biden's America. Look at this situation. At least this has a bolted-on assembly where you can change it, where you can adjust it and do things with it. And, yeah, that's the deal. It doesn't look like the paint situation's any better. Okay? It doesn't look like that, but honestly, you're literally half the price. And no, you're not going to haul a car on here, but the situation says that if you were going to make a deal with this guy and come in here and barter with them, I think the first thing I would do is say, this wood looks like it's been out in the sun for a long time. I'm going to need to put some Thompson's water seal on that. But overall, I got to say, this is a better trailer built-wise. It's built a little bit better than the bigger trailer. Here's just a straight one. Let's see what they want. So okay, this one's $2,099, and it's a 6x12. So you're losing a foot, and you're losing the side gate for literally $129. You're losing a foot on width, and you're losing the extra gate, and you're actually, it's only $100. Let's see, $22.99 minus $2,099, $200 difference. And for $200, I can promise you I'd have that one with the ramp, the extra ramp, and I'd have that one that had an extra foot width on it. So that's the situation there. Okay, we're coming down here. Remember now, this is a Rural King. I don't know if you can see the sign up there. Here's the little guys. Now these are the 5.5 by 10 foot trailers for $17.99. Not a bad little option. Now this is the difference they've got here. Take a look at this. This is a tubular design. It's a tubular design. I almost think I like this style better in a way. In some ways I like this better, because you still have the angle iron, and you've got this little tool, and maybe your straps and all that go up here, your little toolbox area. But this here, it's just a straight dump on the back where you can drive stuff up on, like a four-wheeler or a tractor. But look at this. You've even got the plastic end caps to keep the water out. Not a bad option there. And then you get right down to, I'm really just honestly not sure what you would even use this for, but it's just a little guy. And let's see, let's get a price on these guys, because we're doing a review here. We're doing a review, and this is Illinois. Now I can tell you right now, the tires are not as big, they're tiny. But that right there says a 5x8 trailer with a mesh floor that you'd have to buy your own wood if you wanted to reinforce it. But if you had a couple little lawnmowers, or if you had maybe a wood chipper or something you were hauling around, I mean, $979, you'd be going down the road with it. And it's got actually a very nice gate on the back with the spring-loaded levers, which I do like that. I do like that. And then, you know, if you didn't want, I really don't know why I would want that mesh though. I'd have to have something covering that. I'd have to at least get some 1x8s or 1x6s to cover that. But there you go again. Look at that. You've got that's the best thing that's got going for it. And I like these right here, how they put these little added gussets so you could run your tie downs. But there we are. Look at this again. Whoever painted these things, they just didn't do it right. They probably took the primer and said, we don't need that. The engineers didn't need primer that year. Yeah, okay. But we're all done with the trailer reviews over here at the Rural King. But I know you're not done. You don't want me to be done, because you want to see everything here that they have for implements outside. And remember, I got the spectacles on. These are my readers. I'm looking up close. I'm trying to do the things for you, the DIYers, so that if you're interested in some of these things like these tractors, you can say he looked them over thoroughly. So let's take a look. Now let's start out with the little guy over here. This one here is the RK, and I think that stands for Rural King. The 21H, as in Henry, tractor. The tractor and quick attach loader price is $12,699 with a monthly payment of $189.02. And I'm not sure how many months that is, but that's the situation. Looks like you can buy everything separate, just the tractor. You can buy the loader, the mid mower for $17.99, and the mid mount mower cutting width of 54 inches for $2,000. Now, at first glance, I'm going to say right now, it doesn't look like a bad tractor, and I don't know who's making them for these guys, but it really doesn't look like a bad tractor. The bucket actually looks pretty clean. It looks really, the welds look way better than them trailers, so, and the paint apparently at this point is looking really good. Looks like it's got the quick release attachment here for the bucket. So in other words, if you had a, let that truck go by, if you had a pallet fork, you'd be able to switch it out just like a Bobcat. It's got the really nice, I gotta say, I do like them tires. Those tires I like. It's a 54-inch mowing deck. The little loader actually looks really impressive. This is the Performance Series. Okay, the mount here is really not too bad. It's a little rickety, but it's not bad. You've got the rubber on the floor to help you keep your grip and not slip off of it. The back wheels, I mean, honestly, it looks like a nice little tractor. Really, honestly, it don't look bad. It's got the lights here, the hazard lights. Looks like you've got your fuel fill here. This would be your PTO in the back. This would be your direction, low, high, neutral, four-wheel drive, on and off. Looks like it's four-wheel drive, so that's nice. Looks like this here is your speed right here, because you got the rabbit and the turtle. You got a nice little instrument cluster, and the seat itself, it doesn't look bad. It's a little rickety, but it's got a seat belt. I like that. It keeps you in case something goes down. You got your 3-point setup in the back. All that looks really good. The frame looks like it's a really solid frame. And these tires, really, honestly, I don't know where they're getting these tires, but I can see why they'd call this a Performance Series. These are nice. These would really get you through a situation. It looks like it's got the large PTO shaft. They got it covered, but it looks really good. It's got the guard on it. Okay. Looks like 1/2-inch plate steel on the frame. And then the rollover protection, the ROPS. It's got a backup light here, or a work light. It must be for like if you're trying to hook stuff up. The rollover protection is a really nice setup. I like that. And it's got the handles for getting in and out. I'm not sure what that is. That's some kind of cover or something, but it's got a charge here, a charger. Your mid mower set adjustments. Not a bad little mower, really. And now what we've got here, this one is an RK21, but it doesn't have the stuff on the side. It's an L72, same exact mower. It just doesn't have the back attachment. So here we are on the big boy, the L102. And let's take a look at what we're going to get into for this. Now, honestly, for the money, you know, if I'm going to go, unless I really had size constraints getting in the side of a barn or whatever, I got to tell you, for an extra 10 grand, I'm going with this one, okay? I'm going with this one, and I'm getting this top right here. I don't know what the top costs, but that's what I would get. This is your RK37S tractor. Now, this is $22,999 and $340 a month, okay? So this one here says you'd want to make sure you were trying to at least make some money or prevent paying someone from doing stuff. Now, this is a EPA Tier 4 Yanmar diesel engine. The PTO is 30.2 PTO horsepower. It's four-wheel drive differential lock, synchro shuttle transmission. It looks like a Category 1 3-point hitch. Hitch capacity lift is 2,600 pounds. Boy, it looks like a nice machine. Looks like, oh, you can get a backhoe attachment with that. Look at that, for $6,100. And the loader is $34.99. So, you know, you're looking at $22.99 with the loader. And again, they did a great job. That looks like about a 60-inch loader. The quality of this, actually, I'm going to tell you right now, the quality of this looks really, really nice, you know. And I would definitely say this would get you through a really, really tough situation. And this looks like it's much more sturdier, this seat. You've got a lot better of an instrument cluster here. And again, the whole bottom has got the rubber. This is really, really beefy. This looks like a 1/4-inch plate. And your rollover protection is there. And look at the size of them tires. Man, that would get you through a mud hole. And it's got the step up right here. Now this situation here has got the tail lights built right into the fender. So I kind of like this one. And I know it's more money, but look at this. You've got a trailer tow hitch there. And it looks like you've got a really nice setup back here on the back. You've got the light. Also, you've got the light here. And I really like it. If I had a need for a tractor like this, this would be the one I think I would probably, I'd have to do my research on it as far as taking it for a test drive or whatever, but this might be the situation that I would want. And this looks like a little better setup here. This has got like a joystick deal, okay, instead of the long lever sticking out on the other one. Now let me get up on here. Let me just take it and have a seat here and actually see if I actually would like this. Now this could be a big mistake. Okay, oh boy, that was a mistake. Ho ho! I'm almost wishing I had about 100-acre property that I could run this tractor on. I would feel like $1 million. You know, the situation is some people in life, you know, they think if I had $1 million, what I would do or whatever. I don't need $1 million, okay? If I've got the sunshine and if I've got my health and if I've got a situation that says, you know, I don't owe nobody nothing, I'm just living day to day, and really isn't that what we're all doing? You know, even if you've got millions of dollars, you might have more money per se, but if you never use it, if you just keep it in the bank and never utilize it and help people or spend it, you're no better off than the next guy. But at the end of the day, if I had a situation where I had a piece of property, and the piece of property was paid for, and I was working that land and building my own farm or ranch, and I had my food coming from that earth, and my cattle or whatever I had, sheep or whatever I had on there, and I had this tractor right here, I would be happy as I wouldn't need nothing else. I wouldn't need anything else if I had a tractor like this. I mean, just look at the joystick here. Look at the levers right at your disposal. I feel more important sitting on this tractor than I would not sitting on it. I mean, there's no way I could not have a tractor if I had a piece of property of that caliber. Now, I have a piece, but it's not like this. It's not the size that this would say you need. And with this, you would need a barn. You know, you need at least a barn and maybe 10 head of cattle, maybe some milkers. You need a pretty good size. I would want to drop a rototiller or something on the back of this and just, I would be really happy with this situation. But here it is from the driver's seat. Take a look at this. It's a commanding presence. It really is. And the seat's got the air suspension in it. Take a look at this. This would be a comfortable ride. Just think about someone bringing you out a sack lunch with a lemonade when you're driving this through the field. You'd feel like you were the king of the castle for sure. And that's the Rural King. Maybe that's why they used the name King there, because you would feel like a king on this thing. But this was a big mistake sitting on here, I can tell you that. I really, really like this tractor. But anyway, I wouldn't buy the trailers, so we can sum this up real quick. I love the tractor. The L102 is the one I would go for, and that's a 4-wheel drive unit. And the situation says I would buy a tractor, but I definitely would not buy one of their trailers. So that's the deal. This is Bry. I'm over here in Illinois, actually, near St. Elmo, Illinois. And I'm in a small town called Vandalia. And I hope you like my little review of the Rural King, because I'm not trying to knock these people. They got some good stuff in there. You just have to, like anything else, you have to watch exactly what you're purchasing. Okay? So, if you need a fence, they've got them. This is Bry. I'm over here at the Rural King. And it's even hard for me to even say that, Rural King. Is it Rural King or Ruler King or Ruler King? I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's a rural area and it's a big store. You feel like a king. Maybe that's why they call it the Rural King. All right, this is Bry. I'm out.